Hello, we're going to be graphing with intercepts today. So in the previous video we talked about graphing with a guess and check method, and we collected 3 points, plotted them, and then connected the dots and got a graph of an equation. Here we're going to kind of make it a little bit more simpler. We're actually only going to use 2 points. The 2 points we're going to use are the y-intercept and the x-intercept. Now, the y-intercept crosses the y-axis, and the x-coordinate is always 0. So it will always look like a point, so an ordered pair is necessary. X is always 0, and we'll have some y-coordinate. Same deal with the x-intercept, except it's kind of reverse. It crosses the x-axis, the y-coordinate is always 0. So we'll have some x value, and y is always 0. So here's our 2 points that we can obtain with graphing. And then we'll connect the 2 points and we have the equation of the line. So let's go ahead and start with a nice example. We're asked to graph 2x minus y equals 6 using the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So let's start with the x-intercept, just because it appeared first in the direction. When we want to find the x-intercept, there's a key thing we mentioned before, and that was y is always 0. Always. Because it has to cross the x-axis, and y is 0 at the x-axis. So we are going to set y equal to 0, and then we're going to solve for x. Excuse me. Now, take your equation. You have 2x minus y equals 6. Except instead of y, we're going to plug in the value 0. And 2x minus 0 is just 2x. And now we'll go ahead and get x by itself. We'll divide by 2 on both sides, and we have x equals 3. So the x-intercept is the ordered pair 3, 0. And you have to write it as an ordered pair. It doesn't make sense otherwise. An x-intercept is a point. Now that was just the x-intercept. So let's go ahead and find the y-intercept, in which now we pretty much do kind of the opposite, if you wanted to think of it that way, where we set x equal to 0 and we solve for y. Now you use your original equation, in which we have 2x minus y equals 6. And instead of x, we're going to plug in the value 0. So we have 2 times 0, which is 0. And 0 minus y is just negative y. And we have to get y by itself, so we'll divide by negative 1, so y must equal 6. Now, that's not our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is a point, so we write x first, then y, in an ordered pair. Now we have 2 points. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did that mistake again, where I forgot my negative. So it's 0, negative 6. So we have our 2 points. We're going to use these 2 points and graph it. So we have the x-intercept, which was 3, 0, and the y-intercept, which was 0, negative 6. And we are going to plot these points. So start at the origin. Now the x value for our first x-intercept, that's what I'm looking at right now, is 3. So I'm going to go over to 3. So I got 1, 2, 3. And my y value is 0. So I don't move anywhere, so I can go ahead and plop a point down. So that's the x-intercept. Now let's do the y-intercept. So start at the origin. The x value is 0 for our y-intercept, so we're not going to move. And then we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me double check myself, make sure I count that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, sure enough. And plot our point. Now, from here, we can go ahead, connect our dots, and draw our line. And of course we have the arrows on the end to denote that it continues on in this fashion. And if you're ever worried that your graph doesn't look the prettiest and you're worried that, oh, they're not going to understand what I wrote, you can label your points. Make sure you clear it up. Hey, this guy here is that y-intercept. And for the other guy, this is 3, 0. He's the x-intercept. I know, I just can't draw, you know. So whatever you need to do to make sure your graph looks the way you want it to. And that's it. We've graphed the equation. Pretty nice. So there's no guess and check work. So until the next video.